Hey guys, welcome to Mouth here, and Endgame has arrived. So let's review it, shall we? Whatever it takes. Warning. Spoilers. Major ones, because you cannot talk about this without spoiling a lot of things. Alright, so first things first. Beautiful movie. I love it. Though it has some problems. Not too much that, well, for me, if you overthink of it, but it's my habit doing that. But even if you are a moviegoer and do pay attention to details, you'll see what I'm talking about. But you know how this works. Pros, cons, review, la 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 la. So let's talk about the pros. First things first. Technically, I don't count this like a movie per se. It's mostly like not an audience, but I would say like a video to the fans of the entire MCU, because 10 years developing this movie per se, since Iron Man 1, and then Iron Man 2, Thor, Avengers, and so on, trying to lead up to a final story. And it finally got to the point where they can tell the story they really wanted, the Endgame, where pretty much all the characters they want to talk about has finally arrived at this point. And we grew up with these characters as kids, and we see them at their final stage. And it's basically just a fan movie. Like, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Even Infinity War, it was beautifully done, and this one as well. There's no words to describe it. Even like in the last part of the movie, the last hour, or the final battle, when Hulk snapped his fingers to bring everyone back, and then we hear the little message, that Sam says to Rogers, "On your left." What? What was that? T'Challa's here, Shuri, Okoye, and we see that they're alive, and then we see Falcon coming up, and then the next portal, and the next portal, the next portal, and we see this homage of everything they built from Iron Man 1 again till now. We see the Wakanda army, the Ravagers from Guardians, the Asgardians soldiers, and the Avengers superheroes. It was just so much wonderful seeing all of this. Just, oh God, I love seeing that. Like, when I saw Infinity War, the Battle of Wakanda, seeing the little army there versus the Outriders, they were clearly outnumbered, and Thor even the odds. But this one, they're just scale. Well, not 100% scale, but even bigger than the Battle of Wakanda. So I'm just so pumped. And it was just so marvelous. And of course, Captain America, he is worthy. I mean, I kind of knew maybe he was going to be worthy in Age of Ultron, when the hammer, if he could just a little bit, he could have lifted. But this one, yeah, he is worthy of that, of the hammer. He is worthy of Mjolnir. Seeing him go up against Thanos was just, oh my god, that was so. The costumes, they're 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 like the accurate as they can be. Uh, Captain America's scales, uh, Iron Man's armor, Ronin's assassin robe thing. Like all these characters, like you wearing your costume, you wearing your costume, you wearing your costume. Like, good God, even Thor. Well, somewhat, because he's fat, but in a way, he kind of reminded me a little bit of King Thor. Except for the middle arm, but he's like older, more scruffier, just more brooded, I will say. And the little two hammer things, so like, well, technically one hammer, one axe. It was cool, and it's just this movie was just so beautifully made. The humor, it was not much of it, like in other Marvel films, somewhat here and there, but it was interesting, especially America's ass. That is America's ass. Mm-hmm. And of course, the touching moments of the movie. You know, Tony and Nebula playing a little game, and Nebula like, it's fun. I win. Seeing that she has a friend and someone to talk to, in the way she kind of carries him a little bit in the show, where he's in his last breath and everything, and helping him going down the stairs and looking after him, and trying to help him to his injury that Thanos gave him. It was just kind of cute, and the emotional parts. When Thor sees his mother again, it was just, oh, because the relationship of a son or a daughter, whoever it is, but the relationship you have with someone's mother is just so beautiful and very special as well. And uh, knowing that in that day that's the day she's gonna die, was just, oh, so beautiful that they got a little talk here and there. Hulk, Professor Hulk, it was weird, but at the same time interesting. Like, not bad. I like this. I like this Hulk. The ending as well was just so marvelous. When Tony gets the all Infinity Stones, and not, oh, sorry, there's two homages. I totally forgot to say this. When Hulk holds the Infinity Stones first, as an homage, and then, well, I was saying earlier, when Tony gets the stones, where this is another homage. He holds the stones in his hands, to snap the entire Thanos army away. Even Thanos' death, the second death of him, because the first time they kill him, he's already weakened. He used the snap, or whatever he used, to destroy all the 6 Infinity Stones, because they had to. He didn't want them to bring anyone back. His devastation plan. But no, seeing that last line of the movie for Tony, I am Iron Man. Wow, 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 wow. And I would say it's like a little bit of another homage to the first Iron Man movie, when in the ending he gave his secret identity away. I am Iron Man as well, but this one had a different meaning to it. Like, basically, I guess taunting him, because like I'm one, basically. But no, and as I was saying, in the end, it was just beautiful, because unfortunately, Tony dies. And it's sad at the same time, but bittersweet, or not just accepting like this is the right move because he started the MCU and now he's finishing it per se. The Infinity Saga. This again, the entire movie plan they made. He started it and now he's finishing it, and I feel like it was the right move for that. Like to end his character arc, like it's the right time. It's it's a good move to end it, and it's a loss because I wouldn't mind seeing another Iron Man movie or another Avengers movie or a crossover with him. I wouldn't mind. I would love it, but I think we all know it's time to end someone's role in the character in the MCU universe, and you know it was Tony who bit the dust. And it's a satisfying ending for his arc, seeing him at his funeral, everyone respecting him, and I guess kind of the clue, that his daughter Morgan, which in a way is in the comics he never did, but uh, you know, uh, hopefully she'll become Ironheart because we get the little tease like, I want hamburgers, and your father, when Happy tells her, your father used to love hamburgers, and from the first Iron movie when he got back from the terrorist cave thing. He wants hamburgers right away. And I was like, oh, it was so beautiful. And Captain America as well, his story arc, after he returned all Infinity Stones to their rightful place from the time periods. Old Steve Rogers, we got to see his yeah, well, in a way we can imagine in our head his life, when he because he chose to say in the past and marry Peggy Carter, the life he wanted so badly. And at the same time we kind of wanted him that way because I guess he kind of deserved it after the first Captain America movie. After defeating Red Skull, he wanted that, but he woke up 70 years later, and Avengers begins, and so on and so on, and he never got the chance to live his life, and now he can, and it's very satisfying seeing his character arc and as well. Uh, I wish that maybe they would have killed him off, but at the same time, it maybe opens the door for a little bit of more Captain America. As old Tony, or maybe young Tony, we don't know yet, but old Tony, young Tony, old Steve, young Steve, I'm sorry if you hear noises. My little boo boo wants to sleep. But yeah, and then him passing the mantle to, Falcon to be the next Captain America, which is fine. I know a lot of fans wanted Bucky, and of course, a lot of them wanted Falcon, because those two have been Captain America, I should say, and it's always been a debate, a question of who would be who. It's finally settled. Falcon is the next Captain America, and personally, I would have loved Bucky because even though he's friends with Falcon and everything, he knows Bucky more than Falcon, but I guess it makes more sense because technically, Bucky has the mantle of the White Wolf, which is a character from Black Panther. So, okay, let Falcon be the next Captain America. Captain Falcon. Oops, that's another character. But yeah, and there's just so much to talk about that we can't fit this in the entire video. Stanley's cameo. Tony meeting his dad and telling him he loves him and thanking him. Freaking Peggy seeing her again. Gamora meeting Star Lord, and from another universe, and the battle again, and it was just so much to talk about. The all the female Avengers grouping together, teasing maybe an Avengers all female movie. I don't know yet. It's possible, but we don't know yet. And it's just so much. The rumors for like uh, the Aquaman of the Marvel Universe, uh, Namor. I forgot his name completely because I'm just Namor. There's just so much to talk about because there's so many good things about this movie, and there's some emotional parts too. Like when Scott returns from the quantum realm, and he sees his daughter, and it's been 5 years. His daughter's all grown up, and it's just beautiful. The beginning right away, Hawkeye's family just disappears. It was just the intro. Some of the characters are missing. It was like, no. Spider-Man seeing Ned. Pepper Potts becoming rescue, and all these Easter eggs, all these things that wrap around your head. It's just so beautiful, so satisfying to see, and there's just too many things to talk about. There's too many pros. I don't know how to even make a video out of this because I'm just rambling in my head like, ah. But of course, not every movie is perfect, and it has some flaws. The only problem I have with this movie, there's like three things. The time jump thing, because they explain the ancient one appears in the movie, and she explains that this is the timeline you have. So I mentioned that this is the timeline. No matter what you do in the past, it doesn't affect the future. But what you affect in the past just creates an ultimate timeline, which it's all right. But the thing, it's not like Back to the Future when when Marty creates like the ultimate timeline. How Doc explains it. It's a different universe where you go back to. No, in this timeline, you go back to the same universe you were in. You don't go to the alternate universe that you created, which is problematic, I guess, or just weird, because then how the heck that happens later on, like when Thor sees his mother in the Dark World, the day when his mother's about to die, he summons Mjolnir back, and he gets excited, like, yes, I'm so worthy. I thought, oh, he's gonna leave the hammer there. He doesn't need it. Oh, he took it. Wait, so that Thor from that era. So when I'm gonna get my hammer back, I need you to defeat Malachi. Okay. Like, he doesn't have a hammer anymore then. Even though it doesn't affect the rest of the timeline, that specific moment, I think it would. So, I don't know how that works. Or, when they trying to get the Tesseract for the first time, Loki uses it to escape, so creating an ultimate timeline. Where, technically Loki is living in the present time, but that's not our Loki, that's a different dimension Loki. Well, our Loki, he's dead, but how the heck the Tesseract pass through the timeline then? Because if it's missing at this point, how is it like in Thor Ragnarok when he grabs the Tesseract and gives it to Thanos in Infinity War? Like, how the heck it appears? Even though, like, again, they said, Ancient One said, whatever you do doesn't affect the original timeline, but it just creates alternate universes. So I'm like, I still think they would. Or like Gamora, she never joined the Guardians then. So Guardians 1, Guardians 2 is questioning like she's not on a team anymore. And there are some key elements in both of the movies where she is needed. In the spaceship of the Guardians, the first Guardians movie where they're trying to defeat Ronan to access the room, when she's fighting Nebula, that's famous, that's a good scene. Or, when she's trying to reason with Quill about ego, or when he starts to rescue her and everything, like, there's key elements that they kind of need Nebula. Gamora there. So, question. Oh, and also the biggest one, where Nebula kills her past self. Again, even I know it doesn't affect the timeline. You kill yourself in the past, showing your future self disappear. Like it just wraps my head like I can't shake that feeling off. Even though, again, like I said, the original timeline is not affected. It's just alternate timelines, and it just all right, fine. And the other part that it's not a complaint really, but just I guess how I feel about Endgame, because I know some people will debate which is better, Infinity War or Endgame. And even though this movie is just beautiful, I kind of like Infinity War a little bit more than Endgame. And here's my reason why. When I saw Infinity War, when they punched Thanos, when Thanos stabbed Tony, when he hit Captain America's face, when he disappeared the entire world, I felt that it hit me a lot. When he stabbed Tony, I just stopped breathing. I was about to cry when Spider-Man died, and it was just what? The stakes were just so high, and I knew they were going to lose, but they just did it at that scale. And I know it's extremely hard to do that formula again, and you can see somewhat they try in Endgame. That formula, they bring everyone back, and that amazing moment where you see the entire Chitauri Outrider army of Thanos, and the children of Thanos join him, and just Cap is standing there by himself, and then we see all of the MCU characters right behind him. It was so beautiful seeing that. But the actual punches themselves, I didn't feel that impactful, or like I didn't feel that punch like how Infinity War made me feel. Like every punch that Thanos gave to the Avengers, or when the Avengers punched Thanos, I felt every moment. This one, I didn't feel that much because I knew they're gonna win. How they're gonna win, that's a different story. But yeah, I felt more in Infinity War. And Endgame, I felt it, but not that powerful. The only powerful part I felt was, when Captain America was in the elevator scene mirroring Winter Soldier. I gotta call the secretary about this. Like, why you want to take the scepter? La la. It's okay, sir. It's okay. Hell, Hydra. No joke. I went like that with my friend Christian. Went to see the movie with me. I was no. Even though it's not Hydra Captain America saying those words. No. You do not do that to me at all. No. But no, just maybe it's just me. It's just like, again, I didn't feel that impactful. I didn't feel that adrenaline, I guess. Or maybe because I was tired, or I don't know. But like I said, I prefer a little bit more of Infinity War because I felt the punches more than Endgame. Even though everything was beautiful, how the fight scenes were set up, how again Captain America lifted Mjolnir, how he strategized to win Thanos with his two-bladed blade thing, you know, literally cut in half Captain America's shield. It's like, oh god. And then it cut into this arm, just strapping it to, to kind of help the wound a little bit to not bleed out. And how when the Valkyrie, Captain Marvel rescue Scarlet Witch and all these characters just joining. It was just beautiful seeing that. I wish it was just extended a little bit more. Uh, Spider-Man activate instant kill. Like, finally, you could see him kill. It just, I guess it was just meant to be, not, but I don't know. That's how I just felt like. I wish they had that element of, again. But no, it was just mostly about the timeline that confused my head a little bit. But again, like I said in the pros, we could see teasers of what could be the next movies. Freaking more a little bit more of Captain Marvel, how her story arc could go. The Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we have somewhat of a plot. You know, finding Gamora, the new version of Gamora, where she doesn't join the Guardians, and so they gotta rejoin her again. And since Thor is going to be there, there's a question actually I have. Since he's done with Marvel, is he coming back for Guardians? Because there's been talk about Thor 4, so. Hmm? Uh, freaking Namor, the king of Atlantis, like the earthquakes that were happening on the water, like, potential. Again, Morgan Stark, it could be the next Iron Man or Ironheart, or it will just be Pepper. We don't know yet because like I said, there's no potential sign that she's smart. We just know she has a little bit of her father, but nothing intelligent just yet. Scott Lang for Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. Maybe Cassie will be the new Ant-Man because she becomes that later on. Just we see hints of what could happen because technically there's no post credit. You can, I guess, count the little hammer sound you hear in the movie. Sorry about that. Something popped in my computer, but the hammer sound from the first Iron Man movie, and it could be an indicator of Morgan, but as far as we know, the mantle of Iron Man has not passed down yet. The legacy is just with Iron Man right now. Tony. That's all we know. But again, this movie, it was just so beautiful because it's technically not a movie. It's more a dedication to the fans of Marvel, of all the movies they had planned: Iron Man 1, 2, Guardians, Avengers, Ant-Man, Thor, all of these finally collide into something that was never attempted to do, like something that will be almost physically impossible to do because this is a big scale, big risk too. And they nailed it. They really did. And the way it ended with Steve and Peggy together dancing and just zooming in and just fading to black. And seeing, each of the characters, from all the movies, and we get to see like Chris Evans and their signature as Captain America. This is a movie to them as well. The original six, you know, knowing that this is their end, this is the end of the contract of their movies. Like they're done as far as we know. Maybe they'll come back. We don't know yet, but it was just so beautiful, and I love it. Not because well, also because I'm a Marvel MCU fan, but growing up with these characters and seeing them in the big screen is just wow. And I love every second of it because I don't know. Um, it just mean a lot to me, I guess. Because when I was a kid, I didn't have friends or anything like that. Um, I was a bully victim, so I grew up knowing these characters, and I saw a little bit of part of me, and I grew to love them. And well, seeing this movie just, like I said, growing up watching these movies as a kid to this point now as an adult, so beautiful. Just wow. There's too many pros, the story arc, the jokes, the fight scenes, the homage, the Easter eggs, the to Stan Lee, the character's arc ending, and all these stuff, and the pros are just sorry, the pros, the cons, a little mostly the timeline of the problems I have been having, that oomph feeling, but mostly just me. Maybe some people feel that way. For now, it's just me, and but it's mostly just overwhelming of pros, and I'm just wow. It's hard to talk about this movie because I'm just speechless, basically, because like I said to you guys, I don't do this by script. I just come up this at the top of my head, and I'm just speechless because I'm remembering all these scenes in my head, and just wow. I finally get to see how it ends, and I'm satisfied with what I got. And I know it's going to be a little hard again if they do decide to make another Avengers movie or any movie like this. It's going to be hard because they got to hit the scale again. Maybe they'll do it with Galactus or any other character like Kang the Conqueror or something equal to Thanos, but we won't know yet. Maybe that will happen. We don't know yet. Right now, Thanos was just the biggest threat, and it was awesome. And definitely, I mean, of course, I recommend this movie to you. You gotta see it once, twice, as many times as you like, and just enough said. I I I don't know what to tell you. It's Avengers Endgame, the movie we all been wanting. Especially if you're a comic book fan, regardless of DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, or whatever, it's go to see movie. But yeah, I'm just speechless again. Like, I don't know what to say. I really don't. But yeah, this is Mark with the Mouth, signing off.